Hi, this is Shaman Weaver Sheila Baker. I want to talk about languaging and the words that you use to describe things. And I particularly want to talk about nervous, anxious, and those things that I call it jiggy because I don't want to label it as anxiety. Jiggy is just a made-up word. All the words are just made up, by the way. So when I start feeling jiggy, I stop for a moment and take a breath. This isn't easy. And then go, okay, so what's the source? Because if I take it to source, and because source to me means the big God, goddess, however you see your higher self, the higher self. So if I first of all source it, and I get an opportunity for a couple of things. I get to go, is this mine? And because if you're listening to this, the possibility that you are an empath is high. So we feel things that other people are just emanating. They're called psychic sponges. And I believe that you don't have to take that into your body, that you can use protection. And so I did a podcast on that. And if you haven't checked that out, do, because it talks about how you can walk in protection every day. So these things are out there and we're feeling them. And I get jiggy. So I source the jigginess. First of all, is it in me? And that just takes me doing a body scan. Okay, is it mine? Does it belong to me? Now, if it doesn't belong to me, what I do is I gather it up. I kind of make circles in front of my chest and my torso. I gather it up. I wrap it all together. I take it over to the door. I open the door. I turn it into white light and I send it to source. That harms no one. If it's mine, then what I do is I go, oh, okay, let me notice, is my pulse rapid? Am I breathing shallowly? Am I pacing around trying to get the energy out of my body? I notice all of those things. I also maybe, but I don't often do this, I go, well, what's it attached to? Because if I go looking for the attachment, my mind, that 3 pounds above your eyes there, is going to say, oh yeah, that's it. Let's hook that up. And then every time I see whatever it is I've hooked up with it, the same response is going to happen in my body. So I don't hook it up. I don't see any point in saying, well, why did that happen? Or where did that come from? I'll talk about that another time. So there I am. I go, oh, my pulse is rapid. I'm breathing shallowly. I'm pacing around. And then I look at the word that I'm using. And I've taken out the energy of anxious and frustrated and scared, all into jiggy. So that works for me. You're welcome to use jiggy if you like, because it is a neutral word. And when I feel all of those things, I go, oh, jiggy. Then I have the opportunity to have a conversation with myself and go, all of those same physical attributes are the same physical attributes of excited. I'm now at choice because I can go, oh, would I rather feel excited or anxious? And you can choose. Now you know that the symptomology underlying those two states of being are exactly the same. So if it makes you happy, because we're here to be happy, the Dalai Lama gave us that mandate. So if it makes you happy to call it anxious and then do whatever it takes to get over that, because everyone wants to get over being anxious. You don't want to run around feeling anxious. However, you might want to run around feeling excited. So this energy, the physiology is exactly the same. The terminology is what causes us a challenge. Because now anxiety is bad. Everyone's trying to get over being anxious. There's all kinds of medications out there to quell the anxiety. So I think a more useful kind of thing to do is just change what you're calling it. Now, you'll also notice, because every single solitary time that you felt excited, a little light bulb went off. So every time you were excited, there are all these little light bulbs. Now you have millions and millions of little light bulbs. You feel excited, all those little light bulbs go off. And the energy of that is more uplifting than the energy of all the million little light bulbs of anxiety. So this is just neuro-linguistic programming, pure and simple. Change what you call something, and your response to it also changes. You all know this by changing something about yourself, and people around you also have changed. It's impossible for you to change and everyone else not to notice it. Now, some people are more stubborn than others, and they'll stay there. Some habits that you have are just stuck. So, you're on pause. You can just move your feet a little bit and press play. Change the way that you label something. It changes your response to it. It also changes the way you approach your life. Think about people saying traffic as opposed to traffic. And then they go out their door, they get into their car, and their mind is caught on this little word. And it's going over and over. Well, that causes a whole lot of angst and annoyance and closed off and constricted. So by the time they get to where they're going, no matter if their commute is an hour, they're already got all this stuff all built up. And they walk through the doors of wherever they are, bringing all that stuff with them. So here's a little side shamanic tip for you. Put a burden basket by your door. It can be imaginary or it can be real. No one gets into my house without passing by a whole bunch of plants. And my plants have agreed to take all that energy, transmute it into beautiful, breathable air, and we have a lovely reciprocal energetic exchange. So put a burden basket by your door. Allow your burdens, because as soon as you put a burden basket there, it's going to be busy. It'll take all of your burdens and everybody else's as they're leaving your house and before they come in. So none of that junk will be coming into your sacred sanctuary. That's your home. It'll all be left out there. Now we know Mother Nature abhors a vacuum. The universe doesn't like a vacuum. And we have enough wind everywhere that if you put your basket out there, even if you don't put some beautiful flowers in it and all of that, the plants will agree that it's okay that they take the burdens. They'll even blossom and flourish, mine do. So they'll take those burdens and then they'll shift them and send them away. And the beautiful part about the burden basket is it knows to turn those burdens in the basket into white light. So get a burden basket, don't cart your burdens around, shift your energy of relabeling things for yourself. Be wildly creative, absolutely crazy creative, because it's your energy of labeling something that draws that to you in whatever way that you've put it out. And think about your relationship to your home and look at how you've created it. Everything in there resonates, or else, you're going to move it out pretty soon. So you want to do the same thing with labeling things. We are meaning-making machines, and as soon as you change the label, the meaning will shift. So this is just a beautiful, quick little thing that you can do. You've got some extra tips in here, using your fingertips, using the burden basket. So use the gifts as they are given with love, blessings, bliss. If there is anything that I might help you with, such as a soul retrieval or opening the Akashic records, perhaps a shamanic tarot reading or shamanic counseling. And even if you want to look into your upcoming year and a visioning session that's complimentary, please contact me at Sheila, SHIELA, at shamanweaver.com, or go to my website and send something from there. Blessings! Aho!